What's up, guys? This is Codes.
Matthew Anthony here.
Hey guys, Anammer here.
Hi, my name's Golf.
Mac Vaughn here.
My name's Winter.
Dom Kane. Bjorn Akesson.
Julian Gray.
Christian Vance.
The Secrets. US.
Horticulture.
Austin Hot.
Hi folks, and welcome along to another Sonic Academy live show. We are on number 20. Chris, what do you think about that?
I find it an absolute miracle that we've done 20 shows in a row and not given up.
I know. I like your black t-shirt.
It is Techno night.
Techno
so
night,
we have
so
to wear
black
black
t-shirts. Yeah, man. Techno.
I hope everyone watching has gone and changed their t-shirts into a black t-shirt because it is Techno night here on Sonic Academy.
Yeah, so what's happening tonight then, Chris?
So I don't know. We have got some guy, a new up and coming DJ called UMEK.
Yeah, I've had a couple of tracks out.
Couple of tracks out. We think he's going to be big. You know, you heard it here first. Yeah.
I was checking out his discography all week, and the amount of tracks, man, it's just like unreal how prolific this guy's been over the years, and how many tracks I recognize. I went, oh yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah,
I think the first track that got me into UMEK was, and we used to play it out, was Gatex.
Yeah, that's a tune and a half.
And it was around the time of oh god, his name escapes me now. Sort of like the Netherlands kind of tougher sort of sound, and it's kind of sat in around that. So yeah, look, a really
amazing track. I mean, the original just doesn't even have any drums. It's just this, like, I'm gonna have to ask him what that sound is because it's just totally mental.
The little belly sound, is it?
Oh, it's like that sort of stabby thing.
Stabby thing. Cool.
What else? What's been floating your boat, Chris?
What's been floating my boat is a couple of things in the news. Probably the first thing is what will be the first thing we'll do? Will we look at Novation?
Yeah.
Oh right. I was talking to you about this today. Oh, we'll go. Prince's Yamaha DX7 since I think this is a brilliant, unique piece of history to get. Phil said that he wouldn't even pay 250 quid for it.
I mean, it's just someone else's crap DX7. It looks wrecked.
This is Prince's.
I bet it's got those touch sensitive buttons. It's the Mark 1 with the crappy buttons. I bet you're all broken. Bet you none of them even work.
But there's algorithms in there of Purple Rain tracks and stuff, and EMAX sampler, EMU sampler 2 discs, which I would love to have a listen to those. That would interest me.
EMAX disc would be cool. But yeah, I don't know about that. 25G. I mean, if you're a mega Prince fan or something, that'd be amazing. But
would you not like to own a little piece of history, a little bit of something?
You know,
You're not sentimental.
Well, Peggy got me a signed photo of Eddie Vedder, and it was amazing. Do you know what I mean? Because I like a big Pearl Jam fan.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's just not my thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that.
Okay.
I mean, I'd love to go and see Pearl Jam, and I've been to see them and stuff, and that was absolutely amazing. But
are you sure it wasn't a signed photograph of Eddie Reader from
could have been anyone. Could have been.
I am in the market for a new master keyboard because do you want to see mine?
Yeah.
Look at mine.
What's this?
Yep. This is my master keyboard.
Oh, that is high tech. That's seriously high tech. What's that? A MIDI man?
It's an M audio.
M audio used to be MIDI man, didn't they?
This is from the original Sonic.
I've got the 25 key one of those somewhere.
So I'm torn between. I'd love to get a new one, and I don't know whether to get the Arturia Keylab.
Do we have prices for these new launch key Mark IIIs?
No, but what? So these come out today. These are launch key Mark threes.
Yeah.
Apparently, really specifically aimed squarely at Ableton users.
Yeah.
Laser focused. What do you think? Oh, it looks. Oh,
So that's
what
an
do you think of
SL
that?
Mark III. That's different.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I think this must be the cheaper one. I have the Native Instruments one. It's really nice, well made and stuff. The smaller ones, the wee minis.
Yeah, but I've watched loads of reviews, and it all I suppose it all depends which software suite. If you use lots of Contactly stuff and whatever, get the native one. If you're using lots of Arturia stuff, get the Arturia one. But Arturia kind of came out slightly on top, so I'd be interested to see how these.
Yeah, I would. Unfortunately, I would never buy another M Audio one. I had two of the MIDI. I don't know, the Keymaster key station. Is that the one? The big one, the 88 key one, and both of them broke the pitch bend on both of them, and they ended up getting binned.
And the 88 keys aren't going to be cheap, are they?
But they are. I mean, it's their cheaper end of things, but they were still neither of them lasted
guys,
a year.
If it was you, if you were advising me, what would you buy? Ejeka says buy a push. I wouldn't buy a push. I would just go to Phil's and borrow one.
And then never give it back?
And never give it back. Actually, last night I was about 2 miles away from the house.
You
and
didn't even bother.
I still didn't give it back to you.
Right, there's, are we going to go clean into the just get UMEK on and just like go techno and
Yeah, that's 5 minutes past. We'll just give a quick shout out to people that are on the chat while we got DJ Cool, we got 7 of the clubs, we got the man like a Jekka, Stuart Rogers, APR Mode, Gordon Bates, Ozram VR, hello, Leonardo Cornell Barraza, Majestic Pillow, my favorite name, Biker Guy, wonder what he does, Sonair, Evoke Beaks, Techolite, welcome along, and of course, welcome along to Brian and Will in the background, keeping us all right.
And Charlene, I believe apparently Charlene always watches the show as well.
Does she? But that's because we're eye candy. She looks at us and goes,
if you don't know, Brian, my business partner and other coder of Sonic Academy, he came around my house for a pee because he was at the beach with his lovely girlfriend, and we'd never met before, but she was like, it's so weird, I watch you every week and like I recognized your voice, so it's like I know you and you don't know me, and I was like, that's so weird. It was really weird. There you go.
I think that's probably a little bit more information than Brian would like. So welcome along, everybody. We will go and bring the man like UMEK in. We're going to rattle through some demos. We had loads and loads of demo entries this week, about 10 times more than we normally do. So myself and Phil went through and picked what we thought were good ones that he could chat about. And thank you so much for everybody that submitted demos.
We didn't pick the best ones. We picked ones that we could give good advice about. So if your track didn't get featured, it's not because it's bad. It's probably because it's good.
Yeah, because if we were just saying, look, this is great, this sounds really nice. If there was nothing to really give advice about, we thought it was kind of pointless. So we picked stuff that we thought we could talk about. So yeah, I shall go and bring him in.
Yeah, as usual, this will be a shambles for a minute until we get it all set up. But let's see how this will work.
I am calling. Hey, dude.
Hey,
How are you?
very good. How are you guys?
Good.
We are very good. You're live on YouTube. You're live on Sonic Academy. Welcome along.
Thank you very much.
Say hello to all our lovely viewers out there. We have got loads and loads of people really excited to see you on Sonic Academy.
Hello to everyone.
So, dude, tell us a little bit. How's lockdown been for you?
Yeah, actually, Slovenia is quite, it's dealing with the lockdown quite okay. So we didn't have much new cases. So we were able to move around for last 3 weeks or so. But otherwise, while the lockdown was active, I made a lot of new music, prepared a new sample pack, a few other things, and obviously Sonic Academy.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. So we in case anybody that's joined us doesn't know, we have got UMEK doing his track that came out a month ago called "With Punishing," which can somebody explain to me what the title is? I didn't know. It's from Street Fighter.
Okay, how I choose. It's from the Street Fighter. So in most of the cases when I finish the track, it's always like what the title should be, and I found the best way is for me it's to go to a game like a PS4 games review site, and then I
Right.
just go through like nice sounding words.
Oh, amazing, amazing. That's such an interesting way of picking your names of your tracks. We were talking today, we were actually on your Spotify going through stuff, and I first kind of we used to play out your track. We were talking about earlier, Gatex. That was kind of what year was that? That was probably 99,
2000.
2000.
Yeah, 2099. Yeah,
I mean,
2001.
you're probably one of the most prolific producers out there. I mean, how do you keep that treadmill going? How do you keep the energy going, the enthusiasm going for constantly making tracks? I mean, you're doing, well, I don't know, a track a month maybe?
That's nothing. Actually, you should see because I have some other secret projects that nobody really knows about. There's much, much, much more stuff on my computer.
Right.
So yeah, so I do a lot of other stuff as well, and I even throw away tracks like every 3 months, every half a year. I throw away like 20 to 50 unreleased stuff
Wow,
tracks.
that's crazy.
So how are you so quick? How can you generate so much content?
So how should I say this? I have some friends which were always saying, yeah, I'm really slow because I really, how to say it? Like, there's a really nice saying in Slovenian. I don't know how it's in English, but they're saying like they are really thorough and stuff. I just said, no, you're lazy.
Okay. Okay, right.
So
So,
I think like as when I started to produce, I literally been in the studio like between 12 to 16 hours. I managed to learn a lot, and I'm really, really fast in making music. The most time, I mean, the most annoying thing to do is actually the arrangements and finding the FXs in tracks to fit. Otherwise, ideas, I like beats. It's for me, it's like sleeping or breathing or eating. It's quite easy, if I can say so. Um, it was a struggle, let's say, between when I moved from techno to houseier sound and then back. It was struggle to kind of kind of get back into the sound and realize what are the rules of the new fresh techno sound. But otherwise, when I'm in a forum, I do a lot of beats. I do really a lot of beats.
you had a question there, Phil, on sort of genre hopping.
Yeah, just you've been sort of through so many genres from back when you started sort of 25 years ago. Do you think that the techno genre sort of like the shifting has slowed down a bit now, and it sort of found a sort of more solid path? You sort of a lot of the tracks in techno seem to be of a particular type now, whereas I think maybe 20 years ago that there was a lot more variety. Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think that's a bad thing? Do you think that's how it is, or what?
I think it's exactly the same now. It's just one style becomes really popular, and it's yeah, popular for 2 3 years, and then it just suddenly really disappear. I don't know, like for example, acid was, I mean, it still is quite big, but I'm kind of sick of it, because it's had a huge revival, and now all the melodic stuff is coming in, mixing with the trends, as you've seen.
Yeah, the quench
Number one
thing.
on, yeah, but not only mine. The other producers is doing a lot of covers.
Yeah,
So now we are in a dangerous zone, actually. I don't know where it's going with all the covers. I think we are hitting what it was done in Tech House like 3 years ago, where they did all these covers of
Mhm.
old style, especially with the Gypsy Woman remix hitting number one on Beatport. I think all kinds of doors are opening for kind of bootlegs and covers in techno. I still don't know if this is a good thing or not.
yeah.
Only time can tell. But for
It
me,
doesn't. It
yeah,
doesn't
sorry.
sound like a very techno-y thing doing covers. I mean, techno was always about pushing boundaries and moving forward and being underground and discovering new things. It was never kind of about doing cover versions. I find that very strange.
Yeah, but okay, let's say let's talk about more popular techno. I'm not gonna go into experimental stuff in that. Um, there was nothing really fresh and new for a while. Honestly, I think the only thing what happened it was the fusion with other styles. Anyway, So in 2020, I think it's kind of hard to sound. You can sound fresh, but like really being different and innovating in 2020, it's super hard.
Mhm.
Like back in the days, you've done a track and it was something that nobody heard before, and everybody was playing it. And those tracks were just all of them were so big. And these days, it's it's a lot of music out there.
Yeah, you're releasing a lot of stuff on the 1605 label. When did you start? That was about 3 years ago or so.
Yeah, I mean, so what it happened, like we when we started at 1605, we had a huge growth with like I don't know, a lot of number ones, and
Mhm.
we were really successful. And then obviously when I shift the style, we lost our supporters. We went completely in a different direction. I had to build up my name there, and then I came back as well. Obviously, a lot of people were not really satisfied with what I've done, and I do understand them. Techno was always about being true to the style, and
Hmm.
then changing that. A lot of people were pissed of what I was doing, but so yeah, and then I released a lot of stuff on other labels, and when I finally went to get like few number ones, I decided to bring 1605 label back, like slowly and surely, and now it's working really well.
Yeah.
First I released just my stuff, and now I'm slowly signing other artists as well, because now we have a power to actually to point to the artist and say, yeah, this is a new guy upcoming and everything. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just releasing a stuff, and stuff would be lost in all this sea of tracks.
Yeah. And what do you look for when you get tracks in, or when you're looking for tracks to sign? What sort of things?
Oh, there's so many things these days. So first of all, the first rule is I need track to. Oh, obviously I need to like it, but then I need to play it as well. So we are a dance orientated techno label, and I want to test them on a dance floor. I need to play them. Then um, I want to find an artist which is kind of special. I want him not to release that much on the other labels, which is super hypocrite coming from me,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
released on other labels as well.
Yeah.
I understand that, but we're talking about the label. I focused now being releasing stuff only on 1605, and yeah, so artist needs to be interesting, not releasing on too much other labels. At least I would say worse labels than 1605, and yeah, but otherwise the music is the most important thing still.
And how long do you spend in the studio per day? How long is this phenomenal output? Is it 16 hours? Are you very strict on your hours in the studio, or how does it work?
Sometimes I'm here for 10 hours, sometimes I'm here for 2 hours, depends on a day. I have a bad day as well.
Yeah,
Once in a while I just sit down and nothing comes out as it should, and then I just said, okay, let's call it a day.
yeah.
But sometimes I just fell into the zone and feel, and I'm doing music for 10 hours, and in 10 hours you can do a lot actually.
And can I ask, you're all in the box, aren't you? You're all on the laptop. You've no. Do you have loads of keyboards or?
No, I just sold my Surge modular. I'm selling my Bukla. Like I'm selling the last pieces of all the cool synthesizers that I have. I will actually sell everything. I'm not gonna even keep memories of the synths that I used back in the days, and I made Gatex with and everything.
What what
I'm
did what
so
did you
in
make
the box.
K-Tex with?
Gatex was made with Oberheim Matrix and SC1 from Studio Electronics.
Yeah,
Wait a
it's like the
wait a second.
the
Look,
Moog.
Oh, he's going to get it, is he?
yeah.
Are you
Cool.
going to try and flog that on air live?
Yeah,
Look,
signed and
Oh
everything.
wow! So
that's not
that
signed.
And what? Because
That's
there's like a crazy sound in Gay-Tex, in that stabby sort of sound. It's like sounds really like the attack is sort of diffused or something. What's that? That's
There's actually, I guess that there's I think TX81 Z from Yamaha beneath. So I guess there's like 4 or 5 different layers of synths.
yeah,
I used actually a really cool thing. I delayed, and then I mean pitch and delay. So these like nervous sounds coming on the gatex. It's actually just 1 or 2 octaves up on and delay and feedback. It's doing all the madness.
Cool. Such a cool sound.
And today, what's your sort of go-to synths today?
You know what, guys? Actually, I love the Ana too.
Yeah.
Of course,
I
Yay.
really do. I really do.
That's
So
amazing.
even because I'm doing now one-to-one courses with a lot of students, I always say like the best synths in the market right now are Serum, Pigment, Ana. What else? I think
Brilliant.
these three are quite modern at the moment, at least in what I do.
Brilliant. Well, we'll have to get you. Make sure you've got the Techno packs because they're amazing.
Yeah, I remember I used Ana for the collaboration with Cosmic Boys, and a few other stuff as well. I really do. Really do love the sound.
Cool, cool.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Should we get over to the demos and have a quick blast through?
Yeah. We will open up demos. Again, we had loads and loads of entries this week, so we had to pick sort of 4 or 5. So first up, we have this track called After All.
Yeah, we'll
Who's
just
this
check.
by?
UMEK's got the audio going again still, yeah?
Yeah,
You hear?
Let me see. No, disconnected. It says.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's. You're probably disconnected as well. Maybe need to
I am.
sign in. Yeah. Let's.
Lovely. just hang on.
Okay. What about now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Start listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is probably one of the more chilled out ones from the list we've got. What UMEK, when you're sort of how do you sort of choose sounds and decide whether a sound is
Now I cannot hear you very well. Okay,
sorry. How do you, when you're like, I'm just listening to this track, and I'm sort of, there's like stabs and things there. How do you sort of differentiate between, sounds that are, needed or too much or working, like maybe in even comparison to this track, those stabs there? How do you sort of gauge when something is working or not working in a track for you?
It's just when I press a sound, I know. Let's say if it is a preset or not, I immediately know. And let me tell you, I think or two about the presets, which are kind of how to say, they're bad mouthing presets. There's a lot of techniques that you can get really cool stuff out of it. You can layer, let's say, 3 presets. You can change them obviously, and make a new sound out of it. It's just how you're gonna use it. It's what it's matter. And for me, it's just I go through like banks. I buy a lot of banks, a lot of presets, and I kind of see them as a starting point. And then I always disconnect all the FXs. I go and change something in a waveform. I choose different oscillators and stuff like that. And then when I'm satisfied with something, I just use it. But I intend to use a lot of distortion, or let's say saturation, on everything, especially on synths. They kind of they sound edgy with that. Obviously, with saturation, the harmonics are coming out nicely, and I just kind of think that then they sound more manly, like you would send the sound to the fitness. This is how I describe it.
Yeah.
If you go to if you go to your browser, there's a volume you can turn down so you can hear us over the track. You see a little beside the meters.
Yeah.
I find if you turn that way down, you can hear us.
Cool,
Okay.
Cool. I found it. Super.
What do you think about this so far?
Yeah, it's nice, hypnotic, very linear. I mean, a lot of FXs are going up and down in the background, which is quite nice. But I am a sucker for a good break and a drop, so let's see what happens later.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Looking at the waveform, it just looks like it's all one. There's no break.
Exactly.
Whose track is this, Phil?
This is Nordic Noir.
Nordic Noir. So if you're on the chat, say hello, Nordic.
has that rolling bass line, but I see it more as melodic house and techno than the proper techno. This is my point of view with this track.
Do you think that sort of those paddy sounds are detracting from that sort of dark vibe? Do you think it sort of makes it too floaty then? Takes it out of that genre?
It's very floaty, as you say, and dark, and what's the word? Dystopian. And I love it, but I miss some strong riff on it, like a really cool arpeggiator. I mean, there is something rolling in the back, but the main melody misses.
Yeah.
I would say this is a good how to say sound is obviously good as what I can hear on the headphones. I must say I have a better judgment on my speakers, but okay, the headphones will do just fine. But for me, it's really nice atmosphere, but I would put a melody on top of everything.
Yeah.
I really would.
And the melody is your hook, isn't it? It's something that they can remember.
Exactly.
The key. So other than that, it just becomes a bit sort of
for me as well. There's not really a moment in it. You know, the breakdowns sort of don't really, amount to anything. It's not like it's introducing a big new sound, or it's like building up to a point. So maybe. I guess with your tracks, you're sort of very focused on that sort of breakdown and that build up. You want in a club, it needs to really go off. You need to create a moment in the club to.
Exactly. So like for this would be for me. It's not fair to say a starting point, because it's well produced. The sounds are here, stereo, lovely sound. It's quite soft, for my taste, but still, I think we can agree that it's well produced. But it's missing that riff. And I think if you ask me, and I am on the line today, in 2020 and 2019, it was a really good year of those riffs.
Yeah.
Finally, people are dancing on a dance floor and they can remember those tracks, because for so many years, we were into these darker, more monotone tracks, which were forgotten quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I really do like the riffs. And I think this track has a nice potential with a break, and obviously with a riff or arpeggiator or just a lead solo memorable one.
Yeah, I mean it's we do the demo doctor every week, and it is a point that keeps coming back, is you need that thing, on the top of the track that people walk away and either hum it or they can recognize what the track is. So yeah.
I mean, I would really point out depends on the artist, maybe the whole point was to just get an atmospheric tune, that's it. But because you're asking me, my opinion, it misses the riff. In 2010, 2020, you should have a riff. Maybe again in 21, 22, the situation will probably change, but these days, I think the riff is missing.
I think we're definitely in an era of melody coming back and riffs coming back and hooks coming back. So yeah, brilliant advice. And so on to the next one, who is this from? Dima Deep.
Yeah.
Dima, if you're on the chat, say hello. This is called Touch the Sound.
This is probably more sort of harken back to maybe some of your earlier stuff, I would say.
Or the house here, right?
Yeah. But there's still, we listened to this earlier on, there's still some techno elements in the middle. It becomes quite sort of techno-y stabs in the middle.
Yeah.
This is a completely like this Fisher sound, if you ask me.
Right.
Yeah.
Effective track, lovely, but you know what? I'm probably not the right person to judge this track at the moment. Let me tell you why. Because you mentioned I've changed style so many times. Now I on purpose do not listen to anything else than techno and electro.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Because I am a guy who's really curious about the production. When I hear something fresh, can be houseier, I would intend to research and then it would affect my style.
Yeah.
So I said, please, to myself, a note like, please do not listen to house and tech house, because you're gonna again.
You do want to get
somewhere
inspired
you
and like
shouldn't.
end up on a
Yeah.
completely different tangent. Okay, well, let's move on to the next one then.
Yeah,
Now we're talking.
I can judge this.
So this is Toria, the system. The track came in today. We loved this track. We thought it was really, really cool.
And we can see it has small breaks and a big break and all the interesting stuff.
So when you're getting the track in, UMEK, would you look at that first of all as well? Would you look at the waveform and check it out and go, or you know?
Yeah, when I play it and I put it in my record box, I would
Yeah.
immediately see it, obviously.
Yeah.
I actually do my mixes while I'm DJing, one part with ears and one part with my eyes. So I kind of visual my mix as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to put on the waveform, Phil?
Oh, sorry.
So Vicky Scott is in the chat. This is her track.
Okay.
It's her alias Tora. So you need to be nice.
I'll do my best.
I really like this. I think it's got good vibes. Looking forward to the breakdown.
Really like that synth sound.
It's always good when you turn the headphones up, isn't it? Yeah, I'm really liking this. What do you think, UMEK?
I'm listening carefully. So the beat is good. The only what I'm missing are those mid-tone percussion sounds with a lot of reverb and delays. To sweeten up the track and to show that you care about those small details that really matter. So the track is good, but I'm like, I can hear like all these details that I really pay attention to. Like crash is missing, like reverse swooshes, no, not the 303 sounding, but like FM mid-tone basses.
Like
here
like
and
these
there.
incidental one-hit sort of stabs every sort of once in a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there seems to be a very much for the style that you're doing right now. There's a very specific hi-hat, open hi-hat that everyone's using. That's sort of like a saturated 909 that's like sort of cut off, and it's almost like if you don't have that, it sounds a bit weird, almost.
These are the rules of the techno.
Yeah.
So, Phil, I think the volume's a bit loud. You can't hear us over the volume, so we'll probably minus 12.
You can't hear us over the volume. Right?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm just listening now. So,
Don't let us down. Don't let us down. Here we go. That's a good moment, isn't it?
Do you, I
but
felt
it's-
it could have been built up more, or it didn't go like intense enough, or something.
so let me tell you the recipe for this. So now the break is cool, but it should have like a pause just before the drop. So people can appreciate the dynamics. I mean, the punch of the first kick more. So it's better to have a pause, and then the drop is too dry. The drop is too 2018. What I'm saying is I still do similar drops, but I would put noises, I would put some other sounds, something on the mid-tone would be rumbling there, and this is just a kick and the bass and like really shiny synth, not shiny, shy synth there.
Yeah.
As well, the break is missing some filtered kicks on the reverbs, FXs. I get it. It's a good idea. It's a good idea, but it just doesn't deliver. It's like, you know, I would get a track like that on a 1605. I would download it and then I would listen it carefully, and I would say, yeah, it's close, but at the same time so far away.
It's another sort of 5% come back and just really fine tuning all the fills and ear candy and all the interesting stuff.
Do you think that the experience of, obviously you're out DJing every week and trying stuff, and you get a really, really good solid picture of what actually gets a crowd going? Do you think that it can be a very difficult thing for a producer who's just getting into production or learning, or even a couple of years in, if they're not out DJing and they're not out in front of crowds, to get that perspective of even the dynamics of bass versus.
I don't think this is the case in tracks like this. Obviously, I think a lot of producers, which they do tracks similar to this one, are thinking they don't want to be too commercial. Already using like the leads, which are, let's say, kind of a EDM. I use them too as well, but they're darker and everything. But they don't want to do like overproduce it, too much breaks, too much FXs. But like when I listen to the track and it has all these small details, then I see the producer really paid attention to small details, which are super important in these days. And let's see, all this melodic stuff in 2020, it's like if you cut the first minute and a half and the last minute and a half, you already get like almost a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This trancier melodic techno sound is more songish orientated than ever, and I try to kind of treat them with the same complicity, with a lot of like layering synths, FXs, breaks, this and that. But as I said, a lot of DJs wouldn't play it because they would say it's too commercial. So I think this is the case. Artists want to be more DJ friendly than going to more the pop song orientated, if I can call it like that,
Yeah. And it is hard in techno as well to be, there's some DJs are so cooler than thou that they won't just touch anything that has even a whiff of commerciality.
I would say, like, after listening through all your catalog, I would say there's nothing cheesy about any of your stuff, or there's nothing like that sounds forced commercial. It all really is bang on the genre or bang on the thing. I don't.
Thank you very much, but I think there are thousands who wouldn't disagree with you and me.
Yeah,
but that's the techno scene, but isn't it? That's inherent in the techno scene. There's kind of, there's the Adam Bears at one end, and then there's the sort of really, really ultra cool, underground parties at the other end. But your stuff is just so well produced and so interesting and so tight and so on the money. It's really, guys, if you get a chance, please go back through Spotify.
I'm sure there's not many other techno producers getting 3 million hits on their tracks.
Yeah, absolutely not.
There is few. You like, for example, it's so funny about Spotify. You would see tracks which are not going to top 30 tracks in a Beatport.
Yeah.
And then because of the artist is so big on the social media and as well big in the clubs, they would get an amazing plays on Spotify. It's just a completely different market now.
Yeah.
Completely different.
So a totally different market. And have you struggled with that change, that whole social media and trying to build up that persona? Has that been something that you've?
I am still struggling.
Struggling, yeah. No, we're a lot of people, of our vintage, so we say. It's a hard thing to do, isn't it?
Because I'm not really interesting person except maybe about music, and I always say let the music do the talking, and there was the formula that was really good for 20 years, but last 5 years this formula it's not as effective as it was back in the days. And these days it's much more effective if you're a good looking guy and or a girl, it's like, especially if you're a girl, then you have a better chances of being successful. It's that easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but you have a better chance to.
Yeah. Okay, let's hit the next track.
So this is Guto Certa, and this track is called LSD. So we picked this track because we thought it was kind of interesting groove, and it wasn't quite hitting the mark, and we wanted to give Guto some really cool tips and maybe what way you could steer this track and what he could do to improve the track.
Is it heavy enough now for the current sort of style?
No, this track, just for now, it's super dry. As you see, there's no reverbs on hi-hats, there's no this. Okay, there's nice right going left and right, panning and everything, but it just doesn't meet the criteria by now that I would, let's say, sign this to 1605.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this producer is without talent, but there's work to be done.
And what would you, if this was like, on your computer in front of you, what's the first sort of 3 things you would do to take this up to the current day sort of techno? Big reverb kick?
If I would talk with a producer directly, I would say there's a chance you can improve this track with certain tricks, but my advice would be just to do more tracks and just to get the mileage of techno production.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I mean, it is quite dry, it's quite tight, it just needs to be big, doesn't it? It just needs to be more warehousey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That clap just needs to be...
It's very dry. I think the kick is... What do you do for your kicks? Do you create them yourself? Is it samples you've...
No, I do. I actually use... I have one signature kick that it's in a lot of my tracks, but it's actually changing. But otherwise, I use samples and combine them together, and then I make my own kick. I wouldn't go to like 909 and use 909 because it's so old school.
Yeah.
Doing stuff with 909 kicks, you will immediately sound old school. So samples in my case are the way to go.
Do you put the reverb on? Would you put reverb on yourself, or are you looking for kicks with reverbs on them?
Like I put reverbs, a lot of reverb on right hi-hats. We do mostly our bass lines these days with like a trick where we use reverb for the rumbling bass.
Yeah.
I use a lot of reverbs on the melodies.
Yeah.
But this track is okay. Actually, I must say that it's better than it was on the beginning. It's much more interesting. But
I think it's got a nice arrangement. It's kind of interesting arrangement, but yeah, just too dry. It needs to be just a bit more aggressive, a bit more, get angry about it and get a bit more, come on, let's get in there, let's just, and I think a bit of saturation here and there. We need some of those.
I put saturation on almost everything, and that's, if you want to color your sounds a certain way, I always kind of think that saturation is the best way to do it. EQ, compression is doing completely exactly not the opposite, the different thing that the saturation does.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
It's really hard to comment on this.
Okay. So next up we have Gordon Bates. I think Gordon's in the chat. Gordon, say hi if you're in the chat. This is called Vacuum. This is a bit of a techno banger, we thought. You can
now you're gonna laugh. I already hear a technique from Julian Earl, producer, which and a YouTube channel owner, where he always gives information about how to make techno, and this is exactly the rumble bass technique that he uses, and a lot of techno producers are doing this thing.
Like the delay on the kick, almost, is it?
Yeah, it's a delay on the kick, or just like programming the kick in beneath. What I would do in this case, I would actually put the EQ down, so I would have more low bassing sound,
Yeah.
and it would be appear like that rolling bass. It's too much on mid tone still.
So just all the subs.
Yes, because now it's like, but with a kick, you know, it's like the kick is constantly playing.
Yeah.
Hi-hat is nice, it's nice wide, you know, shakers are nice. Kick is super, it's just the technique of rumbling bass, it's for me a bit, I don't know how to say it.
And do you when you're sort of trying to balance that kick and the rumbling bass, is there a particular sort of, are you wanting the kick to be bigger than the bass by a lot, or
yeah, bass should kick should lead the way.
Yeah.
on the bass section of the frequencies, and then low bass should follow. But I think the kick is always the most important thing of a techno track, and then everything builds up around that, you know.
Yeah.
I like this.
So really, honestly, the only thing that I would change here is I would change the mid-tones of those kicks, rolling kicks, the rumbling bass effect.
Not fussing that little sort of RP sound there that did it.
Is it too dry?
Yeah, it just could be bigger or more interesting.
It's too simple.
There's not a lot of interest. I think we could do a lot. You talked about the course UMEK, questions and answers, getting stabs to answer each other.
I do. Obviously. Yeah, it's just too simple on the melodies, you know. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Or let's say there is no melody. Okay, maybe now, let's wait.
This is interesting.
Okay. All right.
It's all getting a bit crazy, isn't it?
I think crazy sometimes works well in some ways.
Yeah, you see, like it is crazy, as you say. Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. The vocally set's too repetitive. It's not repetitive. It's kind of really interesting.
Okay, he's preparing it for the drop. That's a good sign.
Like this. Here we go.
More of a big noise and crash in there.
You see, but they are so tiny, they should be much more stereo. He could use and this is the part that I like now the most. He should use sounds that are wider, or he should just layer them like 2 or 3 in the similar range, and then to get frequency covered and just being wider.
Yeah. And do you think there, when it kicked in, I noticed a lot of your tracks have like a really big white noise, big obvious, like,
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes they do, sometimes not. It's changing.
Yeah.
But I really do think that this part is good. If he would, or she would use Gordon. You would use just a little bit more stereo images precision on like those percussions, which are driving really nicely, and the drop is by far best part of the track. Okay, now I can see it needs a lot of automation, like filters coming in and out and reverbs going in and down. These are this track needs another 15 hours of automation, then doubling synths, distortions and stuff like that. But yeah, the drop is good.
Cool.
You with the drop, this could be with a little bit better sound. This could sound. I could play it.
Cool.
And
Good.
this is the final track tonight, and it's from Andre. I can barely read that. Buhulin.
Buhulin,
It? Buhulin, and this is Encryption. We really loved this track earlier on today. Really love to know what you think, UMEK.
Is that kick hitting the mark for you?
The kick is really high.
Yeah.
It's
I would transpose it for 3 half tones, 2 half tones, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be my choice of the kick in a track like this. But this is, now, when you see it with the bass line, the kick is actually doing the damage. It's okay, but kick it's tiny because it's transposed so high.
Yeah.
So now the proper bass is actually from the bass line and not from the kick.
Yeah. And do you always try and make sure that the sub of the kick is actually from the kick rather than the bass line, and then you would sidechain the bass line and have the bass coming off it?
Exactly like that. I wouldn't cut my kick above 30 hertz. No way. Maybe sometimes 32, but it's like more exception than a rule. And then I would rather kind of cut the bass to fit the kick.
Yeah.
Even though now we are listening, okay, the kick is doing. You can hear the kick. The peak of the kick it's nice. You can hear it, but all the sub is from the bass line.
So there you can really hear the subs from the bass, yeah.
And do you
Nice bass.
do you tune your kick sub and your bass line? Is that important to you, or does it matter?
Yeah, definitely. If I mean, sometimes by mistake some of my percussions are left untuned.
Yeah.
That means that I had a bad day and I got used to the certain sound and I just couldn't realize that I'm out of the tune. But otherwise, yeah, I intend to tune all my kicks and even hi-hats and everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes those percussion bits that aren't tuned can sound dissonant and give it that darker edge, can't it?
They can, but you can achieve darkness by different approaches, not by mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'll be honest. Now I can be smart ass and on everything. I've done my share of mistakes. But now I see when you tune everything together, it sounds better. It's just the frequency. It's covered differently, and you can achieve darknesses by different elements than by mistakes.
Yeah. You want to achieve it intentionally, I think. Is that what the difference between,
Sorry, can you I didn't hear you now.
Is the focusing on doing intentional thing? Because you do hear a lot of tracks and you think they've just not bothered fixing that when they could do something and introduce more intention into the track. And
I don't think they hear it. That's the case.
Yeah.
I think anyone who kind of okay, obviously I'm sure there are some experimental guys who actually detune and on purpose, everything, but I guess, if I don't know, for me the percussion tuned into the right frequency just sounds better, and if it's not, it bothers me. It's that simple.
How are you tuning it? Are you using analyzers? Are you using your ear? I mean, how do you tune a hi-hat when there's no there's sometimes not really a note? Are you just sort of pitching stuff up and down until you go?
Yes, exactly. So if the hi-hat is really high pitching, and then you just pitch them down like 1 octave or 2 octaves, and then you can actually hear the key of the hi-hat. But again, I do mistakes as well. Sometimes my track is finished, and then I realize that that I didn't tune it right, but I intend to repair those mistakes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's quickly listen to the breakdown, and then that's
Okay.
See, I love that bass line. I think that's wicked. I love this sort of automation going on there.
I think that's a wasted opportunity to sort of create more of a vibe.
I don't know. For me, for my taste, it's just too simple.
Yeah.
As I said,
Just not enough going on, or
it's like it's so hard to be a judge of that. It's like I'm telling by my taste, but maybe the producer said like, listen, I want to have things simple. I play this kind of stuff. This is what I want to do.
Sure.
So it was made intentionally. There's one thing is you're doing some things and you don't have a clue about it, and then there are things which can.
No, we lost him, have we?
have we? Oh no,
He has dropped, I believe.
he's dropped. Let me just have a look here. Oh, he's thinking. You fill there, and I'll see if I can get him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just sort of. Let me just see. Come back, wherever you are. Come back, UMEK. You're a star.
Have you typed in it? Let him know.
Yeah, let me just. I'll hit him up in the chat. If everybody watching, all 160 views, could file your nails or
Yeah.
do something interesting where we try and get Mr. UMEK back.
I thought that was probably some of the absolute best critique we've had.
I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
He's back!
He's back.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell your missus or wife or kids to stop watching 4K Netflix. That's what happens here.
I don't have a clue what happened. Sometimes it's just the connection disappears.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say about this track is like things are made on purpose and things are made by mistake. And if you have a clear vision of what you're gonna do, if your track is gonna be, if your goal is to sound darker and more minimal and more simple, just do it. It's like who am I to judge that? But if you want to make tracks that I do, and you do tracks like that, then there's clearly something not there yet.
Yeah.
I think that's it's one thing. It's hard for us when you're trying to understand. The producer might want to make that specific type of genre, and we're going, oh, make it bigger, make it more reverb, and they go, well, no, I don't like reverb.
Yeah.
But I think everyone is just so stoked to have somebody that a legend like yourself, and is so prolific, and is had more Beatport #1s probably than anybody out there to give. I mean, you're giving insanely good advice.
Yeah, I think
here,
it's some of the best critique we've had on the show. I think it's been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, I think everybody watching everyone's just commenting here, going, "I'm learning so much," and that's hugely important. It's just getting they're taking away and absorbing what you're saying here, and we are as well. We're going, he's tuning hi-hats. How's he tuning the hats? Is he, and we're asking you questions.
Like for example, I'm doing now, because of the corona, I'm doing like the one-on-one course, and this is where I talk with my how should I say students, and we really dig deep into things, and I have a lot of things to say with all the stuff that I've done in my life, all the mistakes and all the success that I have, and there's so many things. And but the first thing I say, always focus on where you want to go and what kind of style do you want to make, and then then I can judge. If you want to make tracks like mine, then we can talk about it. If you're doing like the raw hard techno, like fast, like without low bottom, then I'm not the right person to judge it. And I don't know the techniques of how to make those tracks better.
And
it's that simple.
Have you, like, obviously you're talking about the sort of, you had an idea in your head of, that this most recent genre sort of shift, as it were. did you reverse engineer a lot of stuff that you liked? Would you like get tracks that you go, that's the sound I really want, and reverse engineer like kicks and hat sounds and stuff like that, and try and create a vibe that is what you're after, or do you just like do it all from your own?
Even when I try to mimic something, it always come out as the UMEK sound. It's like it's just something that you cannot go out of your skin. It's that simple. And I think this is good, having my own sound. It took now I think 3 to 4 years of like hard work to kind of find that sound and be unique, to have different. I do think I have a different sounding tracks because I'm using different techniques, and that's what important. But honestly, like I took some courses like back then with some friends where they kind of showed me a different approach to the music. It's not a question if I learned like something out of something I didn't know about, but I learned different approaches to the music, and then I can always kind of get back to my production and learn that stuff. And even now, if I would see a producer offering one-to-one course, I would hire that guy to learn. That's all that is.
That's insane that you're still. I mean, that's something that everyone here should take away. Never stop learning. That you're going. I'm taking course. I I had a big producer on at me today, going, "Can you get me a subscription? Because I want to watch some courses." Because you think you're going, dude, you're one of the biggest producers in the world. He goes, but I still, still want to get on Sonic Academy and learn some stuff. It's probably my courses that he wants to learn from.
Yeah,
man, of course. Like, I think, there's a lot of knowledge that we can suck in and take advantage of it. And I love to do that. Like, listen, how many plugins are coming out like every month? And there's some of them are amazing. And if you don't like constantly searching, there are kids who are making music at home. Like, I'm 44 years old, and it's kind of hard to keep up with all these new things, right?
Yeah, big time.
We're like the Apple lad. If the plugin's out there, we've got a course on it. Because we're really steaming through all the plugins out there. Listen, I thank you so much. We want to pick demo of the week, and I think it's not what we thought it was going to be. I think everybody in the chat is going. What would you go for, UMEK first?
No, that's a good question. I already forgot which one was the.
I think it was Toria. Was it
Toria or Gordon
I think
Bates?
it was the one that I said that has like more EDM leads.
Was it? I think it was this one. Was
that one or?
Yeah, one of these two.
Yeah.
One of those two.
None of those two.
One
Okay, we'll have two winners.
We have two winners this week. So we have Toria and Gordon Bates. Well done.
Can I say why? Because this one that you played now has the better bottom and the hi-hats.
Yeah.
The other one has more interesting leads and structure and stuff like that.
Maybe they should get together for a collab.
Guys, do a collab.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, if you liked what you've seen tonight, please hit subscribe and give us a like on the YouTube channel. We're bringing you big producers each and every week here, going through demos. This week we've got Deadly, we've got UMEK. Last week we had, who was it last week? We had... I can't even remember. But
Short memory. There's
Kirk's course was last week, wasn't it?
Kirk's course. So tomorrow, around 5 p.m. UK time, UMEK's walkthrough of his track "With Pushing" is live on the site. So please watch out for that. There's some. If you think tonight was good, his course is just as good, and you get to see inside his project and how he actually made one of his tracks. UMEK, thank you so much for joining us.
Yep, it was
my
absolute pleasure.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Well, we might get you back because we still have. We've probably another 20 demos we could go through, and you give out some amazing advice tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, really.
Everybody in the chat loves it.
We are just going to go now to we've done a bit of a cut-up special of the best bits of UMEK's course that you can check out now, and then after the break we're going to look at some techno kicks, I think, in kick 2.
Yeah, people think we're going. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to play a best of UMEK, and then we're going to make some techno kicks. So, guys, thank you very much. Guys, here's this course. We'll see you all very, very soon.
Hi, guys. I'm UMEK.
DJ, producer, and a label owner of 1605. And this is a video of how I made track with Punishing that will be out on 1605. So yeah, let's dive in and hope you're gonna enjoy this one. I thought about the melody and about the sound in front of drums or before the drums, before anything. I chose Chroma Verb because it just suited the sound better. And the visuals, the graphics of the reverb are absolutely amazing. Don't you agree? So why the hell did I use the shaper box and a bass drum? It's really simple. I just want to need the peak. I don't need the whole dirtiness of the track, of the kick. So this is what I did. I add reverb. Why I add the reverb? Because it gives you this feeling of actually of a warehouse, of a huge place. And this is the sound of my bass drum. So here I have a bass. It's just a regular pumping bass, nothing special about it. It just works in the track. So what this plugin does, it's a mix of I don't know, transient designer, EQ, compressor, saturation, all these things, and it works amazing. So all my hi-hats go through this plugin. Believe me, when a good producer listens to the track and see this small and hear these small details, he thinks, okay, this guy spent a lot of time thinking of how he's gonna approach the tracks, how he's gonna mix it, how he's gonna process it. Shows hard work and knowledge. So be patient and remember, details do matter. So all of these FXs and synthesizers that I used here are actually talking a small story. Mainline is saying something to you. It wants to talk to you. And then, or it's a question, or maybe something you have to do, but then you have an answer to that, you know? So this is actually a conversation between two synths. Work on the small details, and it will pay off. And producers will hear that, and DJs will be really happy. And there's more likely you're going to be played if tracks are really good and well produced.
Ah, there you go.
He's a top bloke.
Hold on. Let me see.
Oh.
Just there we go. That's it.
There we go.
That wasn't too bad. I managed. Like, the technology pretty much worked for the whole of the show. So,
well, I suppose it's probably time we can announce next week's guest. It's somebody pretty big.
Yeah.
Somebody that has influenced myself and Phil. Probably one of the biggest influences in our career.
Probably, especially in the early days, was BT, Brian Transo. What's his second name? Is it Transo?
Transo. So Mr. BT is going to be on the show next week, reviewing demos. We're also going to be talking about his new plugin, which is out next week with Isotope. So he's got a new plugin coming along. So guys, get your demos into that. And
we have a new demo uploader.
Yes, so instead of it takes us quite a long time to go through all the emails and stuff. You got rid of the link, haven't you?
I can get it back. I think it's just someone telling me no,
live?
I can't.
Oh.
Brian, help!
Brian, I'll scroll up our chat and see if I can find the link. Is it?
You did post it. Hold on.
Demos?
Okay. I thought it was live.
It is Sound Academy /live. Yeah. So yeah, brand transo, Mister. We're going. Look, it's going to be a real nerdy talk.
just
We are
type that in
going
wrong?
to nerd out about EMA. You spelled Sonic Academy,
I
right?
just have
There you go.
capital L.
Okay.
So,
So yeah,
yeah, this is the page. You're going to be able to upload your file, artist name, track name, info, whether you want it for Demo Doctor and Fix My Mix. If it's Fix My Mix, we'll get back in touch. And if we
can I say congratulations to
Brian's
Brian
doing
here
it in a day.
Because you sent him the outline of this on what, Tuesday?
Yeah.
And he has it built by tonight. So
Yeah, well done, Brian.
yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to talk about Flaming Jim. We're going to talk about his track Emma. We're going to talk about movements in still life and some of the tracks and how, in the early days he built those sort of things. We're going to talk about his new plugin. I am super, super excited. And knowing Brian Transo, we will probably say hi BT, and then an hour later we'll say goodbye because he loves talking and he's super excited about everything. So yeah. So we had Sean Tyas, we have UMEK, we have now BT. We're on a roll. It's all downhill from here, isn't it?
Yeah. Want some kicks?
So, some kicks, some techno kicks.
You getting techno kicks there?
I am getting a techno kick there. It's lovely.
Yeah. So I thought since we're doing UMEK Techno Special, it would be a bit silly not to show you some techno kicks in Kick 2 on how to go about making them. So
and can I say a super way to make your kick sound really awesome and loud is to go and grab your free Waves plugin. If you register with Sonic louder, you just go and slap that on, and instantly you're louder.
Yeah, if you haven't grabbed that yet, if you're a Sonic Academy user, go into your user account and down to the what is it?
And
coupons?
Sorry to everybody on the chat whose demos we didn't get to. Look, we got 10 times the amount we normally get in, and we just had to go and pick what ones we
on
thought.
Reflection, probably because we wanted to try and mix it up a bit, but on Reflection we should have just had all just bangers. Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Okay. So how do you go about making techno kick? First, you need to speed it up to techno speed. What's techno speed?
125. Is
I don't
it?
know. All those were quick.
20. I don't know. Can somebody tell us what techno speed is? You used to make techno.
128. We'll go 128.
Okay, 128. Okay.
Okay. So we want to get rid of our normal click there. Here, Joe, I'm going to make this big. Where do you see this?
We see this. How do you do this? Yeah, everyone's 130, 128, 128, 140 loop high. Are you insane? 130. Okay.
Okay, so you want to keep snapping tags on. Just means you can tune your kick specifically to your sub. Mm-hmm. Now this is just the default preset.
Yep.
And then you want to get your bit of click and bring this down so you don't want a clicky click.
You don't want a clicky click?
You want a clicky click.
You want a clacky click? Softy click?
So you can sort of do that. And then we'll get some tape saturation.
So this tape saturation is only in the new. You have to update your.
You do have to update to the most recent version.
There was a recent. It was a version about.
Sorry if this feeds back, but I can't really hear.
Okay.
Not getting enough woomph on my kick.
Yeah.
This is the sort of envelope I quite like. I think if it's too boomy, you sort of want boomy, but then you want
a quick off.
Still want teal, but there you go. Now, do you want to see the secret ingredient?
Yeah.
Okay, this is your secret techno ingredient. If you go into clicks, go down to reverb, go to warehouse LP.
Oh.
Okay, that's like a...
Oh. Mr. Jody Westernoff is on chat saying he absolutely loves Kick 2. This is his go-to kick designer. Do you know what, Jody? We should do a Kick 2 pack. How about that? How about we Jody Westernoff Kick 2 pack?
And then you can do stuff with the reverb. Then you can do like sweeps in.
So this is what UMEK was talking about. He definitely adds reverbs and stuff. This could give that warehouse that big epic-y feel.
Yeah. I tend to like that. If you go in as well, you want to remember you saying about that like knockiness in that last track was maybe a bit high.
Yeah.
I think if you go for sort of frequencies around here, maybe. You can get rid of some of that. Then the last thing I like to do is you can just fine tune your length. Obviously you don't want short. It's just depending on how heavy you want your track. And then you can also actually try out some of the different...
This is an area that's sometimes overlooked, this sort of harmonics. I'm actually just trying to book Jodie Westernoff to come on as a guest here while you're doing this.
Yeah.
live on the chat. Yeah, see, I think that's brilliant, isn't it? That sounds great. I'm turning that up.
Play with your pitch as well on your reverb. You can also use the other distortions are good as well, depending on how heavy you want your track. Tube is a bit less dramatic.
Clip.
That's real hardcore territory there.
Yeah, that was kind of modelled on Happy Heart. You know, the what do you call the guy? Head. Do you remember?
Yeah. Headhunters.
The clip distortion. Headhunters. Yeah.
So you go. That's some basics about how to techno your kicks, man.
Techno. So what will you do? You sort of you're softening the clicky. You don't want a clicky click. You want a bit of a click.
Want a bit of a click, and then just tape.
And do tape. Distortion. Don't forget about using harmonics. You can use some tom harmonics to get it sort of more crunchy and more interesting.
Yeah.
You've got the warehouse, and don't forget you can drag and drop into the clicks. So if you've got kind of some more interesting reverby stuff, or some low tech rumbles, you can drag and drop those in. Play about with the amp envelopes.
This some I made earlier.
And yeah. Let's have a listen to this. And how are you making those?
Just the same way as a show, just all got the wee warehouse. So if anyone wants them, I should share them, couldn't I?
You could actually share what?
Sitting in my wee user. There you go.
Okay, so let's share that. Let's share new techno. How many's there? 5?
Yeah, there's like 5 there. I'll put them up.
5 there.
We'll put them on our forums.
Yeah.
In our Facebook group. I'll put them in our Facebook group right now.
You're making people go to the Facebook group, aren't you?
Yeah. So if you want those techno kicks, go to our Facebook group. Do you know how to get to our Facebook group?
No, who, me?
Yeah. Go to Facebook.
Yes. Go to Sonic. I just go down the left-hand side where it says Sonic Academy discussions.
Sonic Academy. Let's see. Yeah, there we go.
I saw McEwen's Fishmonger.
Put files in, can't you?
You can, but we'll do it after the show.
All right.
So guys, let's make sure we've got all the news in, because we normally. Well, look, first of all, hit subscribe.
Yeah, there's a subscribe thing.
Hit subscribe and smash the like button and thumbs up and no thumbs down. Leave comments. Next week we have got the man like BT on to talk about his new plugin.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, no. Look, it's going to be loads of nerdy chat.
Yeah, if you're getting demos in, sort of aim them in that sort of general genre of, melodic, progressive BT-ness.
Yeah, so it's now sonicacademy.com/live. That's your uploader. So you can now upload, and we'll have proper artist names and stuff. Thank you to UMEK. Thank you to Mr. Phil for showing us Techno Kicks. Thank you to Phil, Will, Brian, and Techlight in the background.
Yep.
All very, very cool.
Thank you.
Nick, tomorrow is UMEK. And then what's next Friday? Oh, yes, we have. It's a bit of an isotope week. Next week we have a plugin coming on Wednesday, and then we have mixing with. Is it Neuron or Neutron? I can't remember.
Neuron. Neutron.
You're on. So we got a mixing with Neutron next week and next Friday's course. So guys, thank you very much for joining us. I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was really good fun. It's so good to get someone who just brutal, just like no, wrong.
The guy knows exactly what he wants and what he likes.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's really commendable. And go and listen to his catalog because, jeez, he is.
It's amazing.
A machine, an absolute machine when it comes to stuff. So, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It is a pleasure as always, and we'll see you all this time next week.
Cool. Let's find the outro button. There we go. Bye. Or no, are we playing something out? We got anything to play out?
No, just Sean Tass.
Sean Tass. All right.
I forgot.
What?
Okay. UMEK was meant to give me a video intro, and he hasn't given it to me yet. Should have asked him on air.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to hook up with Mr. Jody Westnoff. We'll get him on. I'd love. He's a super sweet guy. And I read it. Did you read his interview this week?
I haven't seen it. No, where was that?
It's Music Tech. He can probably tell us on the chat. It was in Music Tech magazine or something in the studio. I sent it to you.
We'll have to do maybe an Anjuna DP style, progressive special.
That would be
That'd
cool,
be good.
wouldn't it?
Get Jody on for the demos. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Absolutely. This is us brainstorming our ideas for the show live on the show.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks very much, guys.
Okay.
We'll catch you next time.
Hey, what's going on out there? Sean Tyas here, speaking on behalf of Sonic Academy, and I'm happy to announce my new series of videos where I'll be dissecting my own single, Matter of Time. We'll be covering bass design, sound design, processing, acid and synth, sound design, processing, percussion, transitions, everything really of the entire track. I can't wait for you to walk through it with me. I hope you can actually learn a lot from this set of videos and immediately start integrating it into your own productions. And yeah, enjoy.